Hey, it's time to open your mind again because today we're going to learn about the stories behind people who took big leaps of faith in their career and ended up landing in a job they're passionate about. Let's get straight to it. Please welcome CEO of Take Two Health, Mr. Tony Young, along with Director Corporate Strategy and Commercial Effectiveness of Take Two Health, Miss Carmen Lee. Tony, can you just share with us a personal story? How did you even get into the a career in INT? Or were you always passionate about INT since you were younger?
Well, I studied biotechnology in the Chinese University of Hong Kong. At that time, there wasn't much so-called R&D industry in Hong Kong. And people always wanted to work for finance, real estate, and other so-called traditional businesses in Hong Kong. And after I graduated, I worked for big corporations. I worked for a company with more than 100 offices around the world. It's a mega scale company. But after a few years, I find out it's not that fun. It's not because I didn't like my job. I like my job very much. But I felt that I didn't have much personal influence on the company because it was a company with more than 100,000 people around the world. No matter how hard I work, I cannot see the material impact of myself on the entire corporation. So I decided to do something else. And there came an opportunity that one of the professors who supervised my research told me there was an opportunity to work for innovation in Hong Kong. Then I started my journey. And over the past 8 to 9 years, I witnessed a lot of young talents coming into the industry. And I think this is going to be a trend that young people no longer want to work for major corporations as their first choice, but are rather interested in working for startups and do something interesting with real impact.
So you pursued a career in INT, and I'm sure you gained a lot of experience with different biotech corporations and startups. Could you share with us a little bit the journey from the beginning?
It was a very interesting journey. Well, when people think about working for a startup, they usually think about some big names, say Facebook or Google, and it's like a glory. They're having some of very interesting title and with an interesting prospect. Oh, these are interesting stuff. But when you start a new company and you work for a new team, basically you start from the very basic level. It's like you have to be the person doing all the work. It's not just about building a team or having a product or doing the sales and marketing. Even like if you have to clean the room that you are in, you have to do it. So this is the so-called starting from ground zero, doing the dirty work one day after the other. It's not easy, but if you get used to it and you get more people willing to work for you and gradually you build your team, it's going to be more and more exciting.
Carmen, I'm curious though. I was looking at your profile and you started your career path working at a multinational industry giant, and you just made a bold move to quit the large company and join Serena, like a small biotech startup, and then navigated a tech startup journey and had a very successful career from there. Like, what led you to this bold move, and what's it been like ever since that day you decided, all right, stability gone, I'm going over here? What was it like?
Yeah, indeed, that was a hard decision for me. I was offered with the regional positions in the Singapore office to gain international exposure at that time, but I chose Serena and started this whole new journey. And I'm still grateful that I made this choice. So I think one of the reasons that I made this move is about the technology and the product itself, especially those are from the professors that and team that I spent my master degree studies with them, and it's always full of innovation and advancement, and because I was with them and the research team when they started the clinical trial, I was there to witness how the technology helped people. Those people who get a positive result, they were treated earlier, and those with negative result that get a peace of mind. So when I was invited to join Serena to commercialize this technology and bring the benefit to people around me, including my family members and friends, um, I knew I would be so proud of myself if I can be one of them who make this real.
Okay, so coming to this though, building a startup from scratch, not easy. We all know that, right? So what has been your biggest challenges?
My biggest challenge are the uncertainties and unknowns in building or leading a startup or penetrating a new market. And one of the co-founders in the previous company that I worked for, the startup company, once told me that I would have been lying to you if I told you I know what exactly will happen in the next 6 to 12 months. And this is so true to me. So to overcome or keep moving forward, I think it is important that we have a team that is strong enough to stick together and with trust and also have expectation for the worst. But it's not that you have to be pessimistic. You have to you can be optimistic about it, but you know it's not going to be smooth, and you are psychologically prepared for the things that is coming, or you can react and come up with a plan to resolve it. And whenever I look back and see how I overcome these difficulties and unlock another level of challenges, it's always encouraging and riveting to me.
Fair enough. I think that's a really good example for everybody. Now, Tony, as we heard, Carmen clearly is a role model for many young talents out there today, right?
Yes, exactly. I think Carmen is a prime example of what we look for when we hire people, in particular young people, to do work for a startup. And I will add one more point, which Carmen has greatly demonstrated in the past few years. That is having a vision. It's like, do you have a vision in your mind that you would do something that can potentially change the world? Of course, you cannot do it in 1 month or 1 year. If you want to change the world, it may take a decade or more to do it. But having that vision is important. And if you have that vision, it's not only that you can do it, but it's also about influencing other people around you to do it. So gradually, the influence is not on one person, but on a team, and not and then from a small team to a bigger team. And that's important. I think Carmen has that potential. And in the recent years, I've seen some other young people having similar potential to do it.
Is there any words of encouragement you could give, like, a call to action to encourage young people to join the INT ecosystem?
Yeah, I would say think carefully about what motivates you, and do not get distracted by things that are less important. I would say don't be motivated just by money or job title or a grand picture that people articulate. It's about what you truly believe in. If you truly believe in something, then you do it. If you don't, then you just go away and do something else. Don't stay don't get stuck. So I think it's always important to think about what you truly believe in, what motivates you, and then get very much dedicated to it.
I think that's perfect. I mean, Carmen's a prime example of don't get stuck. If you don't like it, go ahead, change it up and everything. Now, Carmen, yourself as well, do you have any words of encouragement you would give to young people to join the INT ecosystem, using yourself as an example?
Yeah, I very much agree with Tony. And I think the INT ecosystem is changing and developing so quickly that you have to constantly learn, improve, or adapt your skills and knowledge, so as to like keep the competitive advantages in this tech world. So it certainly leaves a lot of room for young people to unlock their strength and power and also reach their potential. So just go for it.
Just go for it, unleash the best of yourself and go for it. So thank you so much, Tony and Carmen. That was very insightful. Well, now it's your move. I encourage you to go check out our virtual career platform and hunt for your dream job. We'll be back tomorrow with another inspiring story to get you going. I'll see you then.